Hey, it's my marathon of answers. Thanks for joining me again. I've got another question here. This is a good one. Um, I'm going to read just part of it. Hello, first off, thank you so much for your valuable information on addictive behavior. This person that wrote this to me had something happen, right? Something happened in their life that knocked him out of his comfort zone. You know, I say that all the time, that sometimes consequences are the only thing that causes something to happen and change. And I remember one time I was helping somebody and the doctor involved said, you've got to do something to spur a change. Just something's got to change here. Something's got to happen drastically for this to change, for them to want to change. And I said, well, what if we do something and it doesn't go well? They said, well, you got to do something, right? Nothing's going to change if it stays like this. It's going to get worse. So I get that. So something happened, knocked him out of his comfort zone. He got 5150'd, and she had to file a restraining order. Okay? That is horrible. That is tough. Okay? It's easier if it's your husband or your wife than it is if it's your kid. If you've ever had your kid 5150'd, or you've had to 5150 your kid and get a restraining order, you know, that happens to a lot of people too. So this is, at least it's your spouse. I know that's terrible to say. But anyway, he called promising he's changed, right? He's promising, you know, he's in lockdown. I'm going to change. I shouldn't laugh, but I have done that before. Swearing he's sorry, and even confessing to his drug use. Meth, she thought it was cocaine. Meth is cheaper and way, wow, damaging. Right now they're getting this meth from Mexico, and it's competing with all these meth labs because it's far cheaper, and it is wicked stuff. They're producing it for much less cost, so it's very inexpensive. You can get it now. Cocaine, you got to have some money to get. Usually people see the money draining out of the bank accounts, so meth is a cheap, fast way to get loaded. Anyway, he says he's going to go to therapy, and he wants to go to marriage counseling now. You know, she's probably been begging him for years to go to counseling, and now all of a sudden. And she says part of me is empathetic and feels terrible, and but I'm scared. How long do I wait before I know he's truly changed? Well, a lot longer than 24 hours. The proof is in the pudding. Okay, so the first thing you got to do is something's happened. God, the universe, whatever, caused a shift, a change. He's in getting psychiatric help. So while he's in there, someone's going to say, hey, dude, meth is a drug that causes psychosis, like right away. There's really bad meth out there. And so if he got 5150'd, he might be a danger to himself or to others. Meth is something that, you know, meth is the drug that when you see people downtown or at the Rite Aid or whatever in your neighborhood that are talking to the trees, you know, and then are and just scratching themselves and they're picking at their face and they got scabs all over and they're whacked right out of their head and they're fucking talking and waving, and they got this thing where they, you know, they can't, it's almost like a seizure. That's meth. Okay, so a lot of people do meth and that you turn a corner and you can't come back. It fucks with your mind. So it is a bad drug. So he might be in there on a meth psychosis, which means, woohoo, you know, you get really paranoid, people are after you, there's aliens, and they believe it. It's like true. So, you know, I don't know what's going on there, but that, just to tell you, and a lot of that meth psychosis can be recovered from. I've known people right out of their mind and they get sober and they've come back. And some of them come back, but not all the way. So it just depends. Some of the abuse is pretty permanent. And then at some point, there's no coming back. So you don't want to mess around. In and out with meth. I've seen horrible things with meth. So That's what you're dealing with. Sorry to say that, but that's what the 5150 is about. So while he's in there, if they can clear him up enough, what they'll do, if it's in California, a 5150, they might call it different things in different states, but it's the same idea. They 5150, which is 3 days, because you're a danger to yourself or to someone else. Obviously, if you're getting a restraining order, something happened. Something drastic happened. So you want to keep yourself safe. So he's in there. He's going to get some attention. They're going to figure out if it's a serious psychosis, they might keep him for a 5250, which is 14 days instead of 3 days. If it's 3 days, they're going to let him out. He's going to clear up enough, let him out, and he'll be right back at it. 14 days, you know, they might be able to say to him, hey, do you know what's going on here? Do you realize what's happened? And he might be like, oh my God. And then they're going to get him into treatment, okay? It's not, I'm sorry, can I come home? No, you can't come home. No, if it was enough to spur a 5150 and a restraining order, then this needs some attention. This guy needs some help, okay? So let them help him. He's going to go in there and he's going to help him. You can't help him, okay? This is way beyond you, but you can get help. Well, you got yourself a restraining order. You need to, if you need to change the locks. I mean, I don't know how bad it was. I don't know. Did he pull a gun at you? I mean, I don't know. Did he just throw a mug at your head? I don't know. So depending on the severity, change the locks. I mean, be smart about it, right? He's going to want to get back in. That's it. That's it. He's going to want to get back in. That's why he's calling, crying. And he might cry. And he might really mean it. Remember my story about Freddy Krueger? This is a killer, okay? So don't buy it. Addicts, me. Alcoholics, me. Lie to get well and to get what we need. And we think we even mean it, right? I mean, it's a delusional, crazy thing. So let them get him some help. You get to Al-Anon or Nar-Anon right away. Nar-Anon might be really great. You'll understand a little bit more about meth. Either way, Nar-Anon, Al-Anon. Don't tell me you don't have time. You had time to get a restraining order. Google it. Al-Anon near me. Go down there. There's one probably in the church down the street. You didn't even know it. Go down there. Meet with those people. Go 5 or 6 times before you decide that these people don't know what they're talking about. They do. They do. You just don't want to hear it because it's empowering. They're going to help you. That's the first thing I would do. I would not believe him until he completes a treatment program and is sober for at least a year. If it was bad enough that you had to get a restraining order and he tried to hurt you, there's a problem. And he needs to go. If he doesn't go to treatment, he kicks it while he's in this mental place. He needs to come out. He needs to go to NA or AA or some kind of program and get into an outpatient program. There's lots of resources. Please tell me where you live. Direct message me back. I can give you a list of resources based on what kind of insurance he has. If he has any, if he doesn't, there's still resources. And he needs to go to meetings. And when you see him actually participate in a program of recovery consistently and do the steps and do the work that's needed to stay sober, it's not a lot. It's not expensive either, right? I say that all the time. The program of recovery is free. It takes some work. It takes some effort, right? So he needs to be going to meetings and he needs to be staying clean. And if that means drug testing or whatever, so be it, right? You have got, if it was this dramatic, you cannot listen to the crying thing. It's an actor. It's like if you gave, you know, a famous actor the phone and say, call him, pretend like you're a drug addict that wants to get in. Oh my God, I'm sorry, I love you, I'd never hurt you. You mean the world to me, I don't want to go on without you. You know what I mean? It's the disease. So you don't want to listen to that. And you need some proof. And even if he goes to recovery and then maybe he goes to a sober living for a while, you can kind of do the dating thing again. You know, just because you're married doesn't mean you can't date for a while and see how it goes before you just let him back in the house. And secure your bank accounts as well. Like if your name's on both of them, get some money out, put it in your own, because when he gets out, he's going to need to get loaded. If he gets out in that 5250 or 5150, if he gets out like in 3 days, he's going to go on a binge for sure. And it might take a day, but then it's coming. So take your time, get some help, go to Al-Anon or Nar-Anon, and I wouldn't talk to him. You got a restraining order anyway, so he should be getting some help. Damn it, this went longer than 10 minutes. I don't know if I'm going to be able to load it.